Hey guys, it's Fred. I was just going to make a small video here. Somebody had sent me this, and this is Doris Baldwin's Facebook page, it looks like, and there's her and Oakley on the picture on the left there. There they are. And what it was sent to me about is this article right here. It's posted 10 hours ago, and we'll just read it together. Some of already started. I don't know, some of you or some people, I don't. Says some of already started to question the M30 caliber rifle that may have been linked to the ambush. Turned over to the TBI by Peatie Plunk. Well, it was turned over to TBI by Peatie Plunk and Mike Elam. Mike Elam was involved in that rifle also. And an ATF check of its serial number, which so far has not been released. That part is true. They have got that redacted, blacked out. There's been Matt Smith has been researching that gun. He's filed several Freedom of Information Acts with the military and different people, various. A lot of them he's got back, some he hasn't, but as of right now, he hasn't got any valid information as that been one of the guns that O'Neill Moffett had stolen, even though Ricky says in his statement to the TBI that his dad told him it was one of the guns that was stolen by Moffett, and it was also a gun that was used in the ambush. Okay, let's see what she says here. Because the statute of limitations for larceny of military weapons has expired decades ago, that's not true. That may be a state charge, but the military charge would be federally. That would be under the ATF. The rifle cannot legally be treated as stolen property today. That's not true, not federally. That's a military, still a Jeep, still a tank, still an airplane, still a military firearm, as valid today as it was 58 years ago. It's military. This is military. This is government property. If someone argues it was stolen and used in Pauline's murder, that claim would rely on exceptions for crimes like murder. True. Murder is no time of limitation. In most states, I would say Tennessee's the same. Well, here it is, which has no statute of limitations. But by making that argument, they are essentially admitting Ricky's account is correct. Wow. We're admitting that Ricky's account is correct, that his dad gave him a stolen gun and told him that it was one of the guns that O'Neill Moffett stole and that it was used in the ambush. That's Ricky's account. Ricky's account is that his dad gave him that stolen weapon and possible murder weapon that was involved in the ambush. Anything else would be hearsay that Ricky says. The TBI's testing only showed that the rifle was consistent with and cannot say conclusively the murder weapon is not a direct match. Yet, if it is accepted as the murder weapon, the conclusion supports Ricky's story that Buford Pusser had possession of such rifle. Now, see, guys, that's how people can read stuff into history if you don't look at it. See how she's wrote this up? If you believe Ricky's story, then you have to believe that Buford Pusser had possession of the stolen rifle. No, we believe that Peatie Plunk got that rifle and has had that rifle all these years from his father. Now, did his father tell him that he got that car from Buford's car? Or did Mike Elam and Peatie Plunk get together? Remember, Peatie Plunk didn't. This is not a law-abiding citizen here. This is not Mr. Clean, Scarlet, White, innocent Ricky Plunk here when it comes to this gun. Ricky Plunk didn't go call 911. He didn't go to the FBI, the TBI, the ATF. He didn't go to the Adamsville Police Chief. He didn't go to the McNairy County Sheriff. He went to none other than book writer, podcaster, and loss prevention officer Mike Elam. Does that sound like somebody that's really after justice, really after doing the right thing? Does it? You're going to do the right thing, you go to law enforcement. You don't go to a podcaster and say, I've got a stolen gun. I've got a gun that was used in a homicide. I've had it all these years. Hope they don't charge me with it. Yeah. That don't prove nothing about, like she says here. She said, if you believe Ricky's story, then you have to believe that Buford Pusser had possession of such a rifle. You don't have to believe that at all. That's Ricky Plunk and Mike Elam's story. The story, I believe, is that his father got that gun somehow from O'Neill Moffett, and he gave it to his son. That's the three links. If that's the stolen gun, and we believe it is, some of the people that's doing the research, and Sheila and I, that's the stolen gun, one of them that O'Neill Moffett had. He stole 8 M1 rifles, 30 caliber, and he stole 46 shotguns from the United States Air Force. And she goes on to say, if the rifle is confirmed to be one of those stolen by O'Neill Moffett in the early 60s, it would further strengthen Ricky's assertion that Pusser asked Peatie Plunk to retrieve it from his car after the ambush. Really? See, this is your book writers, guys. This is O'Neill Baldwin's wife, who says she's also a book writer. And this is how people write things into history. This is how you take something, just like the women that says that, oh, they were out in the parking lot at 4 o'clock in the morning. They said they were out there smoking, and they heard this and that. Or just like Mr. Howell or anybody else that's in that report, anybody else that we've read about so far in this report, who are only people who wants to badmouth Buford Pusser. There's not a objective person so far that we've seen in that report that had anything good to say about Buford Pusser. Ain't that wild that you do a police report, you talk to hundreds of people, and you can't find one person to say, well, yeah, Buford, I was going across the road down there one day and Buford stopped and motioned me on by, let me walk across the street in front of him. You couldn't even get as much as that? Is that sad? Further strengthens Ricky's assertion that Pusser asked Peatie Plunk to retrieve it from his car. That don't strengthen nothing. I'm sorry, Doris. That doesn't strengthen nothing. Doesn't strengthen a thing. It doesn't. I'll tell you what. I'd like to see talking about strengthen. I'd like to see you strengthen Oakley's story that he said in his interview, where he's talking about these nurses or nurse or whoever he's talking about. He says there's stories, there's evidence out there where nurses got patients sick to the point of dying, and then they would give the patient something to bring them back to life where they could be held as a hero. Can you help Oakley there find those stories where we can confirm that? Not talking about the angel of death, not talking about people that actually killed people in hospitals. We're talking about people that got them sick to the point of death and then brought them back so they could be heroes. That would be a story I'd like to see come out. But anyway, it would further strengthen Ricky's assertion that Pusser asked Peatie Plunk to retrieve the gun from ambush car. This would add credibility to Ricky's account. Guys, I don't think you can add credibility. I don't think you can ever put credibility with Ricky Plunk's name. This man's been in possession. His dad was in possession of it before him, and he was in possession of it ever since his dad died, of a stolen gun and a possible murder weapon. I believe it's both. I believe the gun is stolen, in my opinion. I believe the gun is stolen, and I believe had the TBI had not lost the empty, spent 30 caliber casings, I believe that they would have matched up to that gun right there. I believe that Peatie Plunk knew about that ambush. I believe that Peatie Plunk had something to do, either in planning or participating. This is just speculation. This is just me talking. I'm allowed to have my opinion, and my opinion is that Peatie Plunk, along with Dennis Hathcock, know more and knew more than what they told. Or maybe PD told Ricky, and Ricky's just not telling the whole story. He's not telling everything he knows. Imagine if Dennis Hathcock and Ricky Plunk would tell the truth, what they know about this, how it would enlighten everybody. And of course, Miss Baldwin goes on to says, check out our book, Murder of Miss Pusser Solved. It's on Amazon. You can buy it, guys. You can buy it from this gunslinging Oakley Dean Baldwin. He's the one that would have got out on New Hope Road and slung some lead. That's what he said. Buford didn't even pull his gun. If that'd been me, I'd been slinging some lead. The man got locked in a dollar store for 30 minutes while the clerk went to the bank and he had a coronary. My Lord. I don't know, guys. Y'all can buy these books and support these people if you want. But, hey, that's all I got. Sheila's not here, but if she was, she'd be kicking me right now. So I'm not. I'm just going to leave it at that. Catch you next time.